I'm Old Head Ed.
And I'm Mr. Beleaf. And we like to welcome y'all to Barcodes. Barcodes is a podcast where we delve into the lyrics of your favorite MCs, verse by verse.
Each episode, we invite an artist onto the show,
break down their own bars, and give the listeners a deeper understanding of the meaning and inspiration behind their music.
From underground up-and-comers to established industry veterans.
We cover it all. So join us as we explore the art of MCing and the stories behind the bars on Barcodes.
Another episode of Barcodes.
Yeah.
Barcodes.
We back in the building.
Yes, indeed.
Check.
Thank you all. Yes, with that, a check makes it all official. Thank you all for tuning in. It's near and dear to my heart to realize that, you know, so many of y'all are tuning in and checking it out and enjoying what we're doing. While you're doing that and while you're enjoying it, go ahead and subscribe, comment, and rate. We can get the official business out the way, and then we can move on to what we're here to do, which is Beleaf and myself, Old Head Ed. We're inviting people over to sit down and talk with us and kind of get into the complexities of what it takes to put together a verse, what drives lines, what inspires lyrics. And man, it was such a good time the first time around. We decided to run it back one more time.
One more again.
Mr. Check himself.
Mr. Check. Peace, blessings. King Tetrus is finally back, running it back. This is a sequel, baby.
Bro, I'm glad you did that because you made that. Give your claps. I'm saying
Check.
because you did that way better than I could.
Oh, thanks, man. I'd work on it a little bit.
I'm glad you did.
See, Mom?
It's not his first time saying it.
Thank you. Thank you. I never told you guys how the check became like a thing. Do you guys want to hear that?
Please.
Yeah. Let us know. Give us some insight.
I'm here.
Mr. Check became a thing because, like, in my first album, I went in there and recorded like 8 songs in like 2 sessions. And like that was my first time ever doing it, so like I didn't know like when to start, stop. I just knew I had the bars, right? Yeah. So Beatwave would be like, so where do we like start and stop here, right? Yeah. And I was like, I don't know, bro. That's your job. I don't know. Like you're the GPS, right? I don't know what's going on. Just you're directing me. I don't
drop
know
a pin on it. Where we go?
Drop a pin. That's it. So I'm like, he's like post. Like he's mixing and he's like, you know, you've said check like 10 times in this song, right? And I'm like, yeah, I think we're just gonna keep it. I think he's like, that's a terrible idea. Everyone will hate it. Everyone will hate it.
So you just ran with it. You're like, nah, fuck it.
Yeah, I was
check.
like, fuck that. And then like they were making fun of me in the studio, like, oh, check. And I was like, bro, I promise you, it's gonna be my thing. Like, you know, 21 has like 21 Savage on God, right? Like,
I already like check better than that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I love for ad libs. It's like 21 is like number 1 to me. Then it would go to like Jadakiss, then like Jeezy. Those are like my 3.
Really?
Oh my God, Jeezy's.
Okay. I would say Jeezy's up there. Y'all.
Jeezy's ad libs are
put an ad lib everywhere. Like he actually said that on the record. Yeah.
Chill.
Yeah.
So then when I started doing shows and like the first time I did a show that the sound guy was like, you want to check? And I thought like in my head, I'm like, he must know.
He was in tune with what was going on.
He knows. Like I was like, what the fuck just happened here?
This guy just, man, it's working.
Right? And I was like,
so how do you know Miami Beatwave? Huh?
And I was like,
huh? That's what you was asking.
Is this the fucking Matrix? What's happening right now? Yeah. Right? So then I'm like talking my shit and I was like, check. And I thought it was like a gang thing. And I thought like, are we getting a part of the gang now? Like, is this like are we squatted? So now, like, anytime, you know, I'm out or sometimes, like, randomly people will come up to me and be like, yo, check. And I'd be like, I look at them or, like, my DJ or Miami Beatwave, and I'd be like, bro, I told you. I told you.
Nah, it's a decent catchphrase. You know what I mean? It's like, I remember when Jay came out, I was like, like, when he came out, he did that a lot, like, right before a verse or whatever. It's something that catches the attention to know people, for people to know when they hear that, you're on that record. You know what I'm saying?
Westside Gun has his hey yo. Yeah, that was already taken.
I love that. But yes, thank you guys so much for having me again. A lot's kind of transpired, but I'm happy to be here, man.
Well, not only is this the twice the second time or twice that we've had you on the show, but we're also getting into Click Twice.
Yes, Click Twice. Before we even kind of get there, my guy Scorpio and Mighty Healthy kind of helped cook me this up. And,
Shout out to them.
Shout out to Scorpio and Mighty Healthy, the evil geniuses. And I came out with a song in college called Hit Me. Okay.
Okay.
And Hit Me was like, basically, it was like a song that, we were talking about breakup or whatever. And I never put it out. Okay. Right. So like at this time, I actually am going through another absolutely gut wrenching breakup. And I'm looking at life and I was like, damn, bro, like I'm not my normal happy self. I should probably write about that. Right. Okay. I think what was lacking in the first project was I just never really spoke about like me, like really me. You didn't really get an opportunity to like hear my story at all. Yeah. So I put it kind of like in this, you know what I'm saying? Well, so
pain sorry to cut you off there, but
no, never be sorry, bro.
Pain is a universal language. That's something that in my old crew we used to say all the time. Pain is a universal language and it's easily relatable. That's why like it doesn't matter what language you speak. When you can recognize somebody in pain. So that's why for me, whenever I listen to songs that are like more or less, sadder or it taps into an emotion or a situation that draws out emotion, it's like you relate to it more because you get to see that person as the artist as a person.
Relatable.
You know what I'm saying? Like the 444 album, right?
Going platinum.
All the other albums were dope and everything like that. Blueprint was amazing, whatever. But like the 444 album to me was one of his best albums because he tapped into personal things. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, Jay-Z only gave us like one or two songs like that at most. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, yeah. In Kingdom Come, he tapped into it, and he tapped in like a song here and there. But like in 444, he just kind of let loose. So it was like, okay, that's what people resonate with. You know what I mean? Like for instance, Eminem's whole catalog, like in the beginning, people resonated with him because of the pain, even though it was like funny and bars were all over the fucking place and over the top. But the truth of the matter is, you felt like you understood him because you were walking through his life of him explaining what his life was about. Yeah, so I'm always down for any tracks that are like that.
No, this was a gut wrenching kind of song to do because it was like they played the beat and it was kind of more poppy than I've been used to, right? Like I love me a doom da doom da doom ah doom doom. Yeah. Like I am boom bap to death. Yeah. Right. Slow flow you to death, right? And I was like, okay, well, I want to start growing and adding more to my tool belt. And we put together the hook and it was like, yo, it just hit me. Me and you is history. I thought we'd be together until we is 60. There's something about you. It's like you don't get me, but click twice on my Instagram. Tell me that you miss me. Right. Yeah. For anybody that has Instagram, if you click one time on their page, the like gets shown. You click twice, it gets taken away.
All right. So you wanted them to like it and then take it away?
I was so much in pain that I just wanted to know that the person cared. Right,
like they were still there, like they were still seeing it.
Like they just saw it, right? You know what I mean? Like I found myself like when I say I was crushed, like the level of like heartbreak, I wasn't even prepared mentally to kind of like go to that place. So this girl I was dating, I was just like, I just knew that this was like my person. I just knew that this was like it for me.
Now let me ask you a question. Like, as soon as you wrote, because I've written records like that myself, right? And I feel like it's very therapeutic because once you have that pain, you don't know what to do with that pain. You put it on a record, and once you put it on a record, at least for me, this is the question I'm asking you: did this happen to you? Once you put it on a record and you let it go, the pain's almost instantly gone. It's like you took that pain and put it in there, and it's still there, it lingers, but it's not nowhere near as it. It's like you literally took the pain and threw it into a record and let it loose. It's happened to me before.
I have a line where it's like, all I ever did was want to try. Somehow my pain became my own lullaby. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where it kind of gave myself like a little hug, right? and it kind of starts like, I kind of gave the hook out, by the time, this might flood the internet, it'll obviously probably be out. It says, I'm emotional. All my friends is married. The reality of dying alone, kind of scary. All my exes got babies or they're doing better. Should I stop there?
Let's finish off with the last.
Okay, yeah, finish that. Yeah, you're on the roll.
Are they doing better? But we don't even speak how to write them a letter.
There you go.
All right.
Okay, that right
so
there.
It goes. So this is kind of like real life, and it was, I always say that each man is gifted 3 to 4 women that are supposed to be with
in their lifetimes,
right? And hence the reason why, like, I talk so much about destiny, hope, and fate, because I feel like those are the 3 women that you get. Right, the girl Destiny, that everybody has one, so she for the streets. She's probably from Miami and went to like one of these like crazy big schools down.
Probably has her boob out in the south side of US 1.
Check, right? So and then hope is the person that you date that's safe because you hope it works out. Right, like it's the person you talk to after a toxic experience, right? And then fate is the person that you never thought that like you would ever end up with, right? And to my date, I feel like I've had all 3, right? And I checked on my Destiny, and she had a baby. She's living great.
Okay,
right? So like it was kind of like, well, shit, like I'm hurting and all this stuff, and like all my exes are like killing it right now. So then it's like, is it a reflection on me or is it something about them,
Or, but it could just be appearance as well, you know what I'm saying? Because what you're seeing is the highlight reel of you know what I'm saying, their lives on social media and shit like that too, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So like, it could go either way. Mm-hmm. But
no, and I think just to add to that, and that within that first line, the thing that really stands out to me is married. My friends is married. The reality of dying alone. You think about it now, you're entering a commitment with somebody, okay? And this is supposed to be by all forms, it's supposed to be the one, till death do us part. And you're volunteering, you're committing yourself to this person, but there's no telling that you guys will both part at the same time. Mm-mm. It's like we all have our different times to go.
Right. Yeah, we all die alone. No matter if you're married or not, we all die alone. That is if you think about it, that is a wild proposition where it's like, I am going to commit myself to this person,
but at the same time, it's like in the mind frame of being together. But once we reach that point, there's no telling who goes first. So it's like there's no togetherness there. So. Mm-hmm. That's really deep. I mean,
yeah. This is like I said. This is layers. You know what I mean? It's about to get. This is one of those. I got really.
This is coming from the heart.
Yeah, this was just super deep for me. What did we leave off on that?
I smiled in every picture.
Oh, I smiled in every picture. Cheese and mozzarella. Okay, I just can't believe it's me. You don't believe. I'm looking at your IG. Are you happy without me?
Okay. Which goes back to getting that twice, that double click, that shows that it's like, oh wait, I'm still within your sphere,
right? Like, I feel like my generation, we congratulate toxicity, right? Okay. So it's a whole bunch of people that if you even turn on Instagram, it's all like the memes about like, I'm gonna go back to my ex, like I'm gonna keep doing this, I'm gonna go to the club and not tell her and all that stuff. So I felt like. It's crazy that like that was the only vessel in which I could feel the warmth that I once felt before. You know what I mean? Like this is the only way I can feel.
But it's not only your generation though. It's not only your generation that celebrates toxicity. I mean, if you look at this is one of the things I always say. If you look at any of the romantic movies, right? Think of all the romantic, they deem romantic, which is like fucking the Titanic, right? You remember the Titanic?
Yeah.
They painted Billy Zane's character to be the bad guy, right? Yeah. But let's break that down real quick. Billy Zane, the richest he was rich as fuck.
Okay.
He gets you and your mother, puts you on the biggest boat on the planet to go to the biggest city on the planet and gives you the biggest fucking diamond on the planet. And what are you doing? You're fucking a bum. You're fucking a bum.
For the streets.
Yo, she's fucking a bum inside of a car in the bottom of a ship, and then you got people are mad that
this is the greatest podcast in history.
I'm just saying.
We literally just said that this chick put Jack out here. Like he was like, "Yo, Jack, you ain't shit, bro. Like come over for the dark side." You know what I mean?
No, I'm just saying. Like I
respect everything that's happening.
There's more complexities to it, but if you're looking at it from perspective's sake, like yes, that makes a lot of sense. If you analyze it from a different view, the part of the movie they don't show you, they just show you in that whole like, hey,
how she's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that. I gave you a fucking big ass diamond.
How she's feeling. Yeah. Hey, listen, you never know. I mean, that could have been a prearranged marriage. I don't know. But,
doesn't matter. It's arranged.
I love everything that's happening.
There was an agreement.
This is podcast gold. There's never going to be a moment better than this right now. You're witnessing history, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, don't let me. Another time on the notebook. I'll tell you the notebook later.
No, but I think like it was tough because I always thought that like I was much better than I was getting, right? So I think like in relationships, it was just tough because I knew that her and I dated before.
Yeah.
But I was so bad. I was just like terrible back then.
Which leads into like at the same, keeping that in mind, knowing you the way you are and what you guys had been through, it only begs the question, as you're viewing from the outside looking in, are you happy without me? Like, is this person providing that where it's like, he's not putting you through what you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's exactly like today I was with my best friend and his wife, and she casually like said this. She was like, "Hey, do you know so-and-so's boyfriend?" And I was like, "Huh. Well then, God, it's only been a year and a half. I hate her." Right? It still stings. So the next line, it's like, I gave you everything in this world except commitment. So how then could I be mad at Madeline, Connie, or even Lex, or whoever comes next? I'm so tired of begging for forgiveness via text. Right? Yeah. So I had no problem name dropping. I name dropped on this shit. I was like, "Oh, I'm pulling a full Drake card, like all that, like all y'all, like I'm naming names, yeah, all that. You know what I mean? Like I'm naming names, you, and you, like y'all, three of y'all, like my bad." But I think the two things that stood out to me about that was like I gave them all the same blessing and curse, right?
Yeah.
Which was me, but I gave them like I didn't show commitment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Which some might argue that's the focal point. That's the one thing that they want to take away or want in a relationship.
Yeah. I mean, my ex and I broke up amongst other reasons, but she basically was like, you don't show me off enough on Instagram. And I was like, what? And then she's like, that's how I really, really, really like validate my relationship is through Instagram.
Man, Mark Zuckerberg fucking everybody up right now. So I'm like, oh, okay. Like, then click twice. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's a tie back to the click twice. Yeah. I see.
Right. So, the three girlfriends that I've had that have been long term has been Madeline, Consuelo, Connie, and then Alexa. Those would be the three. So
have they heard this song?
Yeah. No, actually, I don't know if I sent it to Alexa because her and I are like on speaking terms.
They trying to sue you or anything?
I fucking hope so. Are you kidding me? I'm talking to the shade room. I'm putting it on Instagram. It's like I'm about to run a check up. Y'all messed up. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to get some sync licenses on like really cheesy CW TV shows and shit. Like this is like the perfect song for that. The
story has to be told for sure.
So yeah, that was kind of the heartbreak of it, and then my family was kind of like going through a lot at the time, like with, my dad's relationship with my sisters is kind of dynamic. His relationship with my mom is kind of dynamic and fractured to say the least. And
so you were experiencing a lot of pain from all angles of your life.
All angles.
So when you put it into this verse, well, I mean, you're kind of zeroing in on the relationships between these girls or your exes or whatnot. And so you're using that pain and you're driving it into here. Now, the question, I forgot to ask this question earlier because you covered it.
He covered it.
He covered
really well.
it though.
He covered before
But-
you even got into it. He covered it well.
All right. So, but I still want to know, like, do you remember where you were at when you wrote this and
Yeah.
like when you were writing it?
Yeah. No,
Before we go into the next bar, yeah.
Yeah, so the first verse is actually my first verse from the original version, like a decade ago, and I just like spruced it up and learned how to rap better. And then the second one, I was on in downtown, just like I was on a sneaker mission, and just kind of like
You were still in that mindset though,
Yeah.
as far as all right.
because like I went to the one thing that I thought that like would make me feel better, right? Where it was like I was struggling because the one thing about being an artist now is that like everyone has access to you, right?
Yeah.
So like people validate your success or your movement based off of pictures, right? Based off of what they see on Instagram, TikTok, all that. Where it's like if I don't drop something for a week, people are like, "Oh man, are you okay?" And it's like, "Yeah, I'm just." Like living, like I'm doing shit.
correct.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just living,
Yeah.
you know? So like for me, it was like, I got to do something that I know will make me feel better. And, I'm not a big drinker. I'm not a big, smoker or anything. And it was just like,
You're into the sneakers.
I'm into sneakers.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the thing. And then kind of wrote it all together and kind of worked out.
All right. So
Going back to the dynamics that you were describing between the family, your dad, your sisters, who were a big influence. in
Yeah,
your
no, those are
hip-hop
my favorite people on the planet,
education. Yeah. So going back to that, it's like to my pops, I'm sorry, I finally get it now. That's that next bar.
So it's all going to tie in. So I say to my pops, I'm sorry, I finally get it now. It's hard to follow your lead if you couldn't follow your vows. I respect your flaws. I accept your flaws. I just want to make you proud. I just lack commitment. All right. So the reason brings me back to the idea that like so much of the struggles and stuff that I put through with my exes was that I never like had a consistent like showing of what it was to treat people correctly, like in a relationship.
Yeah, so you didn't have like a foundation,
Right.
or like a guide on how to treat relationships.
Correct.
In that sense.
Correct. Because like I mean, my parents, like my dad wasn't like, he didn't like just up and leave. They got a divorce, but I never really saw them like hug, kiss. I never really saw them like together interact. I never did that. And so like when I became of age, his thing was like, get girls, do all that other stuff. So it was just kind of like everybody was replaceable. So now I have these 3 beautiful women and I gave them everything except commitment.
Yeah.
And then when I'm talking to my pops, it's like, I'm sorry, I finally get it now. It's hard to follow your lead if you couldn't follow your vows. I just lack commitment. So it's like me admitting that like
You're like saying like, like, Dad, I love you, but you know what I'm saying, I can't follow what you doing because you couldn't follow your vows, like your promises.
Yeah, but
so basically you're not going to be
right. Like
you're not going to follow those same footsteps.
So like even when you talk about vows, I'm not just talking about marriage. I'm talking like
everything, just
what's
commitment.
expected
You know what I mean? Like,
from
what's
you
expected,
vows is just commitment.
in a relationship.
Yeah,
Right.
promises and
Exactly. Finally get it now. It's hard to follow your lead if you couldn't follow your vows. And then I respect your flaws. I accept your flaws. I just want to make you proud. I just lack commitment. I got to die by my decisions. To tell the truth, it just feels like I'm losing it, but I'm a good person. Why waste the time proving it?
Oh, I like that line. That's a bar right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
a bar right there. Yeah. Say that one more time.
I said, what is it? I just lack commitment. I got to die by my decisions. Tell the truth. It just feels like I'm losing it, but I'm a good person. Why waste the time proving it?
Yeah.
Dope.
Right? Because I was so consumed. I realized that like with my ex, her and I had dated a bunch of times like before and it just never worked. But I never made peace with any of these demons.
Yeah,
right? Like I never like took the time to be like, all right, I have to grow. Right.
Yeah.
And like as I started to fall in love with hip hop and fall in love with music again, I understood that like this wasn't so ironically. When I look at my 3 girlfriends, my first, Madeline, she was like, I don't think you should rap, right? Coming out of college. And I was like, all right, cool. I'm not going to rap. The second girlfriend was like, no, you should rap, right? The third girlfriend was like, are you really going to rap forever? Right? So it was kind of like, how do I understand and make it known that like, if I'm comfortable enough with myself to say that like music isn't a moment. This is like me. This is like an extension of who I am. This is how I get down. This is all that.
I can't try to make this go away because that means I go away.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how it is.
You attach it to your identity.
Yeah, no, there is no gray area for me. And I think, even if I don't try to rhyme, professionally for the rest of my life, like, I don't know if I could wake up and not do it, So it's like I lack commitment in that area, not in the commitment to my craft, but the commitment in like sharing my existence with someone. Yeah. Right. And like just being okay with that. And, like I'm a good person. I don't have to prove it to everybody. So whatever you say it is, peace and blessings. You know what I mean? Peace and blessings. So whatever you say it is, you got that.
Round of applause on that one. Peace and blessings.
Like, let's get it. You got definitely.
Yeah. Peace and blessings. So,
so we approached the last bar right here.
To tell the truth, it just feels like I'm losing it. I'm a good person while I waste the time proving it. Cop the new whip and just cruising it. Hey, yo, my ego on a pedestal, but why they always bruising it?
Check.
Yo, it just hit me. Me and you is history. I thought we'd be together until we is 60. There's something about you. It's like you don't get me. Click twice on my Instagram. Tell me that you miss me. Dang. Yeah.
So when you say my ego on a pedestal, why they always bruising it? You put your own ego in the pedestal. All right.
Saying sorry is like that means you're humility, like you're being humble. You know what I'm saying? Like you're trying your best to like understand whatever you did put someone else in a position of hurt.
Got you.
Right? But like so much of my problems were self-inflicted.
Okay.
Right? So it's like I'm putting my ego on a pedestal, like why they always bruising it. Like I'm trying my best to be more open and vocal and do these things. And like, I can only do as much as I can.
Yeah.
Right. So, this song was super, man, if y'all would have heard like the first version of this, like the first, like just me let everything go. Yeah. Like it was
filter, just
like
let it fly,
it was a lot. I was like, damn, I'm gonna chill.
They're gonna do the video with the rain and your shit.
Bro, I think Omarion's on the remix. I think
Brian McKnight.
Like, So this was probably, I sent out to test the record. And I sent it out to a bunch of people, and like everyone just was like, yo, I think this is like the one song everyone's going to resonate with. It may not be like your radio hit. It may not be like your banger, but this will be the song that people will download over and over again.
It'll be that cult classic.
Yeah.
Because yes, you're right. Like what Beleaf said is the pain is relatable.
Yeah.
And then it's just all happening within the sphere of how most people are operating nowadays, which is through some social media. That's how the communication happens. So, and everybody's on it. So that makes it relatable on two different levels.
Yeah.
Like definitely. So yeah.
Yeah, man. This was a lot of, and I realized that this is like now my rhyme style where like, I'm just going to just talk about what's happening, like day to day. Like I
you always have content like
always,
that.
You know what I mean? And I think like, I'm just, to say that I'm a hard worker is an understatement. The undercard fighter who made the main event, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I'm spent. How many circumstances do I have to circumvent? So I vent. Looking at my life, I wonder if this is it. But the only thing I ever did good was not quit.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Round of applause.
Yeah. No, I don't even think I have it on it, but I was like, here we go. I'm on it.
Yo, Tetrus. It's always a pleasure to have you here.
Check.
We always have a good time when you're here.
I appreciate it, man.
We want you to come back and have more of these verses that you're going to drop gems on us. And
peace and blessings is what they have to look forward to.
Yes, peace and blessings is the movement coming up. I think, like I said, it's going to have like 9 songs on there, and I think just a lot of lyrical stuff, and then a lot of heartfelt things. I think, like I said, I just want people to hear this and think, damn, he really has been working. Like he's really been grinding on his craft.
Definitely will.
Like,
that's it.
That's all I want.
All right. Once again, we here for Barcodes. Make sure that you subscribe and hit that like button and comment and all that good shit.
Yeah, see I'm emotional, all my friends is married. The reality of dying alone, kinda scary. All my exes got babies, or they doing better. So we don't even speak, had to write them a letter. Yo, I smiled in every picture, cheese and mozzarella. I just can't believe it's me, you don't believe. Said I'm looking at your IG, you happy without me. See I gave you everything in this world except commitment. So how then can I be mad at Madeline, Connie, even Lex, or whoever comes next? I'm so tired of begging for forgiveness via text. To my pops, I'm sorry, I finally get it now. It's hard to follow your lead if you couldn't follow your vows. See, I accept your flaws, I just wanna make you proud. See, I lack commitment, I gotta die by my decisions, tell the truth. It just feels like I'm losing it. I'm a good person, why waste time proving it? Cop the new whip and just cruising it. Yo, my ego on a pedestal, why they always bruising it? Why they always bruising it? Why they always bruising it? Yo, it just hit me.